Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in again. Well, today I have a $20 US smart home camera, 1080p, all the features you could ever want. And like I said, it's only $20. So let's get this Wyzecam 2 opened up and I'll show you what it's all about. Let's go ahead, let's get the Wyzecam 2 opened up. Like I said, this is a $20 camera. The packaging itself is pretty plain and likely is meant to keep the cost down and really keep the worth in the device itself. Now when you get it open, there's just a few features to have a look at. Really just some ports on the back. You can see you have a power port and then a USB port. So the power port is that bottom one. Then every other side except the front where the camera actually is completely plain. Now inside the box as well, you do get some mounting hardware and some cables and of course your power connector. So here's your power connector. It's just a standard USB connector. And you get some 3M tape. Basically this is mounting hardware, that and the silver piece there, and you get the cable, which is quite long actually. Now opening up the camera, you can actually see that it's a full swivel mount. You can go all the way around, and on the bottom there's a spot for a micro SD card, and then that's actually the setup button. That's what you're gonna press later in the process. So let's get into the iPhone now. You could do this on an Android device. You obviously need the Wyzecam application, and you're gonna create an account, verify the account through a pretty standard process, and then you come to the add new device screen. Once you're there, you're gonna go ahead and tap on add new device. Then you tap on the picture of the Wyze camera, and once you do that, you're going to want to go to your camera and actually connect it through the power outlet. So here's me doing that. Once you've done that, you're going to wait till there's a blinking light on the back. It takes about 20 seconds. You'll hear the camera click a few times.
Ready to connect.
And then you hold that setup button and you heard the sound there. Once you've done that, back into the application, you will have heard ready to connect. So you tap on that button, you input your Wi-Fi information, and then it asks you to scan this QR code. So you just hold this about 5 inches away from the Wyzecam lens, and then it switches over to this connection process. When it's done that connection process, you're going to hear the following. And that's essentially it. Now you can go ahead, name the camera, whatever you want to call it. You can always change that later. And then you can share the device or start using it immediately. Now to share it, that's kind of you wanting to send it to someone else in your home who's going to be accessing that camera. Now here's the live stream. Like I had named it, this is for my puppy. We just got a new puppy here, and I'm going to show you some of the features. So here's me just zooming in, and you zoom in like you do everything else on an iPhone or an Android device. You can see the motion detection firing, and there's actually a bit rate up in the top left of the interface here. You can also turn on and off the night cam vision, and you can also change from HD to SD if you want to kind of lower your impact. Now you can listen to the sound by hitting on the left interface button there, or you can speak and you just hold that speak button and you can see my dog reacted immediately. The other items you can use, you can record the video if you just want to record something going on. Now the recording will occur if it detects motion, but I just turned on the recording just to show you you can do that on your own, and you can still speak into the camera while recording. You can also take a photo and then it gets saved to the album. Now both your videos and your photos are being saved to the cloud initially, and if you had a micro SD card on there, it would be saved there as well. Now into the settings, which is up in the top right, and this is something you're going to have to look at and play with a little bit. But just off the top, the motion detection was a little sensitive initially, so I actually had to turn that down. It seemed to find a lot of light changes in my home. So if the cloud cover changed, it could actually trigger motion detection. You can also turn on different sound detection and smoke alarm and CO alarm sound detection. So those are nice. You can also set a schedule for the alerts to let you know so you don't have them going constantly. So moving on from the alert settings, there's an advanced settings section here. So you can see you can trigger on that local recording to the micro SD card if you put one in. You could format from here, night vision mode, you can move from automatic to not. And then you can also turn off the camera status light, which I like, so it won't actually show that in your home. So there's some other settings here, things to just play with over time if you'd like to. And then there's the device information that you can also get. Now back to the device. Here's what happens when you actually flip the screen on your iPhone. You can see the same interfaces there. You can take pictures, you can speak into it, you can record video, and of course you can change from HD to SD. You can turn the sound up, on or off, up in the top right. And you have your timestamp and you can zoom around. Now into the album section of the application, you have videos and photos. You can review your old videos, you can review your old photos, and you can also go ahead and share those. Now from there, you can go ahead, you can delete anything inside your album. And the time-lapse function here, this requires an SD card, and this requires you to be recording to that SD card. Just a couple last things. Down at the bottom, you can see the notifications tab, and this shows you day by day what notifications you're being sent. You can filter it by day or you can filter it by camera as well. There are account settings if you want to adjust any of those, but ultimately that's about all you want to know about the Wyzecam, getting it set up, and from there you can add multiple cameras to your home just as easily. Now, one thing you're probably wondering about, how do I go about automating these? That's going to come in the next video in our series here about Wyzecam, so stay tuned for that.